western sky, and it is Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, home of the LSU Tigers, one of the great venues in college football. Little gets the blood boiling, quite like a rivalry game. Barbs, shots, trash talk, things that go on throughout the week will now all be settled on this field. As we'll see the number 8 team in the country, the Arkansas Razorbacks, taking on a team from the ACC, the LSU Tigers. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. LSU ready to kick it away to get things started. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. You think the fans are ready for this one? The booth's shaking underneath us, guys. Looking to move it through the air. Snagged in the middle. It's Murphy. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. There's always that issue of conference pride, of keeping up, of proving your worth on this stage, and the ACC loves to get a chance at the SEC to do just that.
And these kids grow up in the same area. And you don't think the ACC teams hear all the time, SEC, about the dominance, the draft picks, all the stuff that goes with it. It definitely adds some of that fire. It makes you want to beat them more. I love these big-time games.
Yeah, they really do, David. And I think this is one of those games where if you're the ACC team and your players in that locker room, you've had this game circled all off-season. This game is your opportunity to prove, not just to your conference, not just to the SEC, but to everybody in college football, just how good you are as a team and how good your conference is.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down mark.
Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. Good pick up there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
They finally get him on the ground, but the big running play moves the change for the first down. And you really can't be called the Hogs if you're not willing to grind it out in the dirt.
Yeah, and I love calling the offensive linemen the hog mollies. In Arkansas, in that beautiful state, you're going to find a bunch of big, strong individuals. And the identity of that team is usually built on those guys up front.
He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. They go to the ground. Brought down after picking up 3 down to the 22. And the Razorbacks are in the hurry-up. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one, not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking into an environment like this, because if you do and you make some mistakes, this crowd will pounce on you and seize momentum.
And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
A little bit inside, a little bit outside. Nice job. Hey, keep them guessing, right? You run it up the middle to keep them honest. Now toss it on the perimeter. Make them set the edge on the outside with their defensive ends. They don't do a good job here. Nice positive game. Now let's go get 7.
Quarterback sneaking his way, tunneling and burrowing into the line. Wedges, pushes, and he's over and in for the touchdown.
Well, you know this offensive coordinator scripts his opening 10, 15 plays, and he didn't even need that. They went 9 plays and scored a touchdown. Everything working perfectly. They looked like a well-oiled machine early in this game on offense.
No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. Here comes the offense on first down. The give to the back. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Quarterback will audible. Dropping back, it's Farrell. They're bringing heat. And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity. You know the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to come up with a big play, but up front they could not protect him well enough.
On third and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. He'll try to do it himself. They'll force him out of bounds after a solid pickup on the play.
Great job rallying to the football by this defense. Third down, QB's trying to extend the play, but great team speed on defense, now setting up fourth.
On the return, it's Pena. He's got great speed. Just destroying his way through the field.
And a return like that really is an impact-type play, but it's also a momentum shifter. This gives the offense so much more confidence now getting to start this next drive, deep in their opponent's territory.
And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. You want to talk about a drive where you impose your will? That's what they did running it down. Lets it fly deep downfield. Oh, right through his hands. They came out attacking, wanted to impose their will, and they missed a big chance on that one.
And perfect timing. Got there right when the ball got there. Didn't get there a little bit early. Saving the touchdown. Nice timing by that defender.
Trying play action. This time it's complete. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. The Razorbacks have taken it inside the 20. They'll throw it on first down. He's got it. Takes it to the house. Touchdown, Razorbacks.
Man, this offense has started the season off so good. 1-0 a week ago, right? Now building on it again. Great job putting points on the board. It's still the first half, but this unit looks dialed in.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Gentlemen, it has gone final in that top 25 matchup we've been keeping a close eye on. Miami opened up a can, and how many times can you say you went into someone else's building and beat them by double digits? It's what happened today, and the rest of college football should take notice. Always interesting to see ranked teams collide, and today was no different. The agony and ecstasy of college football, fellas.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, it's Farrell. Might be looking to run. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
Nothing too exotic about that blitz right there. That's just the middle linebacker coming right up the middle of the field in the teeth of that offensive lineman. Nobody accounted for him, and he gets home.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. He's looking downfield to throw. And that pass is intercepted. Not able to get loose on the return, but what a play to put his team in business at the 33.
Well, that's the danger about being in a third and long situation. You've got to push the football downfield, and the defense is expecting it. So they've got guys in the back end with their eyes on the QB. They're able to make the interception. This offense is going to have to do a better job generating better plays early in drives moving forward.
And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. The ball pops out. Bounced right back to them.
Good awareness by the offense. You never want to see the ball on the ground, but a nice job understanding to just kind of jump on it and make sure you keep possession.
On 1st and 10, trying to strike from the 15. He's going to pass. And it's caught! Touchdown, Arkansas! They score for the big fella here. Why are tight ends so effective in the red zone?
Well, these aren't the guys that are going to burn by you and go for 70 most of the time, but when you can use their big-bodied frames, threaten them to run the football and be a blocker in the running game, and now you slip them in the secondary, make that big play.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown.
21, LSU, 0.
Fair catch, called for and made. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play.
And they get the sack just like that.
A loss of 9 on the play. Brings up 3rd down. That's the end of the first quarter. For Arkansas, 21, LSU, 0.
Now facing a 3rd down as they line up after the break. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. He's got it. They get him on the ground, but not before he gets enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, you've seen these curl routes. This is a timing route. Understand the ball's got to come out of my hand right when he hits the top of that curl. Nice job by the QB finding him. Nice catch.
Feeling some heat. Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance.
They've already got a bunch of sacks on them today and another quarterback pressure. This offense has to try to find a way to get the ball out a little bit quicker, to protect the quarterback a little bit more. Whether it's screens, whether it's draws, whether it's rolling your quarterback, something has to change for this offense to protect the quarterback a little bit.
That's a really nice job holding that pass in, and you think LSU has just been such a breeding ground in recent years for receivers. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, they all have the ability to make a play anywhere on the field, and that's what this guy can do. You can line him up anywhere. He can run routes at all 3 levels of the secondary. The defense has to know where he is lined up every single play.
This first half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far, but starting to get things moving, it's 1st and 10. They're going to throw it again. Fires deep toward the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Tiger. Lining up to add another. And after the extra point, they're now down 21-7. An 84-yard drive there. And the score comes on a touchdown pass covering 28 yards. They've got it down to a 2-touchdown deficit, trailing by 14 and about to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up.
Flying out to the left. At the 30. At the 20. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Razorbacks!
This coaching staff was trying to identify playmakers on offense early this year. How about the start of the season this guy has had? Scored in their first game. He scored early in this one. Defenses up to this point don't have any answers for this guy.
And they knocked through the extra point, and they're up 28-7. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll call for the fair catch here. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They'll throw it on first down. Still looking on the move. Slides away. And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds.
Nice job by the defense. You got to dial into your keys. You got to make sure you're reading those guys up front. They did a good job. They saw it. They pulled the trigger. They knew the quarterback had it. They weren't fooled. Strung it out. Did a nice job of limiting the damage with that QB run.
Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. They make the stop right there. Good pickup. It's still short of the first down. And how good is it for a quarterback to have a running back he not only can just dump it off to, but can actually be dangerous as a receiver?
Agreed, Reese. It's not just check downs or screens or swing routes or flat routes. This guy can get vertical. And he can all of a sudden start stressing defenses in the second level. What a weapon it is to have this guy in your backline.
And it's not a decision time. You're going for this. You're near midfield. Sometimes those punts will go in the back of the end zone. You're going to net like 25.
Oh, it's a phony punt. They're going to run it with the up man. They'll stop him short, and they had it sniffed out from the beginning.
Well, they were trying to get clever. They thought they had the right look for that fake punt, but give the defense a lot of credit. They were expecting it.
And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. And it's an incomplete pass on the deep shot, but the flag is down. Let's check the call. First down here for the offense. Now the play fake. Buys a little time with his feet. Fires downfield. It's complete. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. And the Razorbacks have moved it inside the 20. He'll come out throwing on first down. Going for it all. Snagged in the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas.
That's number 2 on the day, having a day. I mean, you know he's going to catch the football, and you know he's going to make plays after he catches. Those are the kind of guys that you feature and you find it.
And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And the play will stand after the replay booth just does a little double checking to make sure. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Two very different emotions inside the locker rooms of these teams who did battle today. Oklahoma rolled to a victory, and after putting up this kind of win, there has to be some Heisman buzz around a program that produced 4 winners of the award between 2003 and 2018. 60 minutes of football and a convincing outcome, and certainly a game with implications far beyond just the standings, fellas.
And Kevin Connors keeping it up. Going to throw it over the top of the D. And that ball is picked off. Trying to take it back. Never had a chance to get rolling after the pick, but he gives him the ball in prime field position at the 40.
Trick plays are really fun. when they work. But when they don't work, everybody's like, why the heck did you run that? Because I practiced it. I practiced it all week. I'm going to call it at some point in the game. Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. He lofts one down the sideline. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't hook up.
Well, I like this quarterback being aggressive and taking a shot. Just a better play there by the defense.
Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Nice, solid form tackle from this sophomore. We had a barn burner the last time these two teams played, and no reason to expect anything else between these two bitter rivals.
Attention to detail, and I think the sense of urgency, David, in a game like this just goes way up.
And I think managing the emotions in these type of games, you know last year was a classic. Now you're trying to form this year's identity of this team and go out and get a win in a big-time rivalry game.
The Razorbacks have it with a 1st and 10. He wants to throw. Bought a little time, lets it go. And he's got his man on the sideline. He'll come up a little short of the 1st down.
I'll say this, man. In college football, you see a lot of bad tackling. You didn't see it right there. That was an awesome job. First off, being there at the point of attack. Once the tight end made the catch, there was no doubt he was going down. Great job form tackle.
Direct snap. And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain. And the Razorbacks in the hurry up. They'll go with the direct snap. Oh, it's a fumble. The defense snatches it, and they're going the other way.
Disappointing for the offense, too, because they pride themselves on being physical, right? They wanted to come out in this game. They want to establish the run. They do that each and every week. They had the 1st down, but David, he just couldn't hold on to it, and the defense now creates the takeaway.
And speaking of pride, that's what you pride yourself on defense, taking the football away. How many possessions can you steal? He had the 1st down, but you got there. And more importantly, we work on this all week long. Counting fair, stripping the football, getting the football out, and then falling on it. Nice job by the defense, forcing the turnover.
They've got a really good drive going, but a little speed bump here at 2nd and 13. He's looking to throw. Got his man downfield. Touchdown, Razorbacks! And once he got loose, it was all over. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. That drive covered 57 yards for the touchdown. And the points come on a pass from 39 yards out. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They find themselves in a pretty deep hole here, but maybe a chance to grab a little momentum and he's picked off again. His night vision hasn't been up to speed. His 3rd interception. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And that's just excellent coverage. Man, cover 1, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board, and you still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open, and if I'm the QB, man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it into tight windows if it's not there. He throws it, unfortunately, gets the interception. Bad decision by the QB there.
And he's got it! Touchdown, Arkansas!
That is exactly what most offenses will do. Big momentum play. My defense creates a turnover. I'm being aggressive. I'm going for the big score, the big play down the field. They get rewarded. They get the big passing touchdown.
And he tacks on the extra point. That's taking advantage of a golden opportunity set up with great field position, and they struck quickly for the touchdown. They're lining up to boot it away. And he passes on the touchback. Here he comes. Gets it across the 20 to the 21, and not quite what he would have picked up just taking the touchback. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reese. Obviously, this offense hasn't had everything go right for them in the first half, but here's an opportunity, David, to execute some plays, put some throws together, and generate some points.
And you're right, Jesse, and this offense needs to start now. Like, we got to get some points on the board, create some momentum, and continue it, because you've dug yourself a significant hole.
And just nowhere to go for that runner. He had no choice. That defense, they were bringing it up front. Everybody winning their one-on-ones, and they completely had him surrounded.
He almost had another one. They've already picked off 3 and just a hair away from number 4 there.
And that's why that guy plays DB and not wide receiver. DBs generally don't have as good of hands as wide receivers. That ball should have been picked off on third down. Come on, man. That could have been a pick 6.
Well, this head coach is clearly sending a message, going for it this close to his own end zone. On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. Lets it fly. He's got it, and they convert. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. LSU getting set on 1st and 10. To the air, it's Farrell. For the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Got some room to run. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Razorbacks! How about that D coming up with a play like that? Look, I know it's only the second quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these two teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
You get that touchdown right before the half, build the momentum, and the last thing you need to do is mess it up by allowing a big kickoff return. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Leaves it with the back. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Razorbacks will line up to kick off and start the second half. And he's going to bring it out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Nothing went right in that first half, in the first order of business here. Try not to be embarrassed any further.
But the comeback is possible. Remember 2006, Michigan State down 35 to Northwestern at halftime? They somehow came back and won the game. But it all starts on one play, and that has to happen here on this first drive for the offense.
Yeah, the first possession, because your possessions, you're only going to get so many possessions, and you got to score on every single one of them. Offense, defense, special teams have to play out of their mind, but they have to believe.
Looking to throw, it's Farrell. And that is his 5th interception. If he comes out to try for 6, he'll be lucky.
And they'll take over 1st and 10.
The offense lining up for a first down play. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Made a little something out of that run. He picked up a couple down to the 14.
2nd down coming up.
It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. The give to the tailback. Pulled down after a gain of 5. It's at the 9-yard line.
And that's the problem with blitzing on defense. You live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. Defense dialed up the pressure, but the offense had a better play call. They ran it away from the blitz, and that's why they were able to be successful.
Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be first and goal.
Well, I know this is an offensive line that has a ton of pride. They want to come out each and every game and really impose their will on the D-line. They got just enough push there on that run play to pick up the first.
Touchdown, Arkansas! And the punishment has been extended. They've extended this lead, guys, but sometimes in a rivalry game, you get down and you fight back that much harder.
Man, you've seen crazy comebacks and crazy swings of momentum in rivalry games. You just need that first thing to break your way, Palmer.
And I think it really comes down to their key playmakers, David. They can come back, but these guys need to take ownership. Now's the time. In this type of game, they have got to step up and start making plays.
And the return man has no place to run, no place to hide, and a place to be tackled. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last one. And he throws another interception. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
That's number 2. That's a good year for a lot of people. What a day. Having 2 interceptions already. I might try my hand on the other guy. This guy is not somebody I want to mess with.
And the offense takes the field ready to go back to work. Power football with the run. Brought down after a pickup of 2 to the 19. After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. They'll go right back to him. Pushing ahead, a tough run. Picks up 4. It's down at the 15.
Well, this offense came into the game knowing they wanted to be physical. They wanted to establish the line of scrimmage, and they're running downhill right at this defense, and they're churning out positive yardage early.
Coming to the line of scrimmage on 3rd down. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Quarterback on the move, still looking. Touchdown, Razorbacks! And the pummeling has started.
After that amazing performance in week 1, this offense wasn't content. They felt like they left some plays out on the field, even though they were able to get that win. I feel like they've taken another step. They've raised their intensity level. They've raised their execution. This team is going to be a contender this year. You can just feel it.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
Set to advance on the football.
He'll return it. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Well, let's see if this drive goes better than the last one. They were in and out quickly after the quick pick, David.
Yeah, first play, big mistake, man. Now, let's get this offense in a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe before you open it up again, Palmer, or do you trust him right away?
He seems to me like the guy maybe that just needs to kind of get into the flow of the game. So maybe you get the running game going here and just give him some easy looks to let him get lathered up.
Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. A strike downfield. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 29. Wide receiver shows motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land.
The first thing you have to do to make these plays successful offensively is I have to block the edge. I got to get my speedster in space. They didn't do a good job of getting that guy out there in space where he could really use his jets. Nice job by the defense understanding it, seeing it, rallying to it, and tackling that guy for a loss.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Arkansas 70, LSU 7.
Now facing a third down as they come back to the line after the break. Back to pass, it's Farrell. And they fail to hook up on third down.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. On fourth down, they'll throw for it. Gets drilled as he releases it, and the ball just trickles to the ground.
Tell you what, it gets late in the football game, man. I got to start being aggressive. When I'm in a hole and the clock's running out, like it's going to make me have to throw the football, be more aggressive, and this offense doesn't come through for their team, and now they're going to really need their defense to get some stops here in this football game in the fourth quarter. And what you see late in games, man, those teams that can really run the football and run that clock when they got a lead, you really win a lot more football games. So I think you look for them to be physical down the stretch of this game, try to continue to do this on the ground, continue to eat that clock.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
Big reason why his team has the lead right now late is because of his performance running the football. Well over 100 yards in this game. They knew that they were going to have to really put a lot of pressure on him. He'd have to shoulder the load, and he has delivered for his offense all game long.
And he's tackled, but there's also a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. A first down for the offense. From the gun, the running back has it. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense. And the Razorbacks racing to the line in a hurry up. On second down, wants to throw. Keeps looking downfield. It's a fumble. They recover their own fumble. How in the world did the offense avoid that disaster?
That ball carrier is very lucky. That easily could have ended up in the hands of the defense. You have got to do a better job of ball security.
They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. And they did not let him reach the line to gain. It'll bring up a decision here. Don't even think about sending the special teams out on fourth down and 3. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
It's all about making plays, and this guy's been waiting to make his mark on this team. He gets his first interception of the season, and what a momentum-changing play for his team.
LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They were really aggressive going for it in their own end last time and put them in a tough spot, David.
Yeah, aggressive, reckless. They got to find the balance with this offense to really be productive. And last possession they went for it, they rolled the dice, Palmer, and it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, if you're better on third down moving forward, though, you can keep yourself out of those situations.
Fires it down the seam. Pulls it in inside the 10. And he crosses the goal line and gets the touchdown, but way too little, way too late. But they still do count it for 6.
And And this has been a rough day for this offense, and finally, some good things to happen. Build some momentum maybe for the future. That's the way the coaches spin it when you're getting beat up and you're getting destroyed. Like, listen, let's find something for the future. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep working. This team's done that, put some points on the board, so it's not all bad.
He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed it.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions. But I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
Second down coming up. Trying to seal the edge on the right. Just a solid stop by this sophomore.
And the defense is still fighting. They haven't had the day that they dreamed of. You know, talking to the coaches coming to the game, like they thought they had a good plan. They'd be ready to attack and limit some of the damage this offense has done. They haven't done it today, though. They got to go back to the drawing board, figure some things out, because this wasn't a great day.
Now the defense will try to keep them on this end on 3rd and short from the 21. Wide out in motion. From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on 3rd down. Fires to the tight end. Now they'll really try to get this drive going. Good execution on 3rd down as they have it 1st and 10 at the 31. The Razorbacks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Touch pass on the run. Finding a way to put that foot in the ground and get it up to the 37-yard line.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch. So pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
You know what's great about rivalry games? Each side hates every wretched breath the other one sucks into their greedy lungs. Figuratively speaking, of course, and when you win, oh, is that sweet.
It's glorious to be able to brag, to be able to text message your buddies, to be able to post stuff on social media. It's a lot of fun. I think fans like it more than anybody, but it's something that every year you have a couple games start. This was one of them, Jesse. They took care of business, and now you move on to the next.
They really did, and we saw some great individual efforts in this game by the winning team, too. So cool to see some of these players that have had terrific collegiate careers make some of the biggest plays of their lives in this game, in a rivalry game that just means so much. This was a fun one to call.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.